The Viper and the File. A viper entered the carpenter's shop and went from one to another of the tools, begging for something to eat. Among the rest, he addressed himself to the File and asked for the favour of a meal. The File replied in a tone of pity and contempt. "What a simpleton you must be if you imagine you will get anything from me, who irrevocably take from everyone and never give anything in return." The Cat and the Cock. A cat pounced on a cock and cast about for some good excuse for making a meal of him, for cats don't as a rule eat cocks, and she knew she ought not to. At last she said, "You make a great nuisance of yourself at night by crowing and keeping people awake, so I'm going to make an end of you." But the cock defended himself by saying that he crowed in order that men might wake up and set about the day's work in good time, and that they really couldn't very well do without him. "That may be," said the cat, "but whether they can or not, I'm not going without my dinner," and she killed and ate him. The want for good excuse never kept a villain from crime. The Hare and the Tortoise. A hare was one day making fun of a tortoise for being slow upon his feet. "Wait a bit," said the tortoise. "I'll run a race with you, and I'll wager that I win." "Oh, well," replied the hare. He was much amused at the idea. "Let's try and see." And if it was soon agreed that the fox should set a course for them and be the judge. When the time came, both started off together. But the hare was soon far ahead that he thought he might as well have a rest, so down he lay and fell fast asleep. Meanwhile the tortoise kept plodding on, and in time reached the goal. At last the hare woke up with a start and dashed on his fastest, but only to find that the tortoise had already won the race. Slow and steady wins the race. The Soldier and his Horse. A soldier gave his horse a plentiful supply of oats in the time of war, and tended him with the utmost care, for he wished him to be strong to endure the hardships of the field, and swift to bear his master when the need arose out of the reach of danger. But when the war was over, he employed him on all sorts of drudgery, bestowing but little attention upon him, and giving him moreover nothing but chaff to eat. The time came when the war broke out again, and the soldier saddled his bride and bridled his horse, and having put on his heavy coat of mail, mounted him to ride off and take the field. But the poor half-starved beast sank down under his weight, and said to his rider, "You will have to go into battle on foot this time. Thanks to hard work and bad foot, you have turned me from a horse into an ass, and you cannot in a moment turn me back again into a horse."